Now for the top story tonight, let's bring in Congresswoman Michele Bachmann, who is campaigning in Iowa. She joins us now from Indianola, just south of Des Moines. So, Congressman, I believe Secretary Geithner when he says it'll be catastrophic for America if the debt ceiling is not raised. What say you?
Well, of course, it's not true that anyone wants to see the United States government default on its debt, and we don't have to, because the fact is we have sufficient revenue coming in to pay off the interest on the debt. We don't have to default. We have a great bill that's being put forward by Steve King of Iowa. It would combine paying off the interest on the debt first with paying the salaries for our brave men and women in the military. We deal with the must-haves like Social Security and Medicare, and then it's tough luck. I agree, it would be very sacrificial. But the one thing that we can't do, Bill, is add another $2.4 trillion to the debt.
Well, we know.
That's
we know
huge to add $2.4 trillion. We'll be right back where we are next year.
Nobody's saying
we've got to borrow again. We can't do that.
Nobody's saying that the cuts have to come. But look, are you saying Geithner's lying? Because Geithner's basically saying we're not going to meet some of our obligations to foreign investors who hold U.S. bonds and who get interest from those bonds. We're simply not going to meet those obligations. Now, Congressman, you know when that happens, the foreign markets are going to go crazy. The dollar's going to plummet. Stocks are going to go crazy, down, 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 down. I don't think Geithner's lying about this.
Bill, we can pay off all of those obligations.
He says we can't.
We can do
Is he
that.
lying?
Well, he's wrong. He's wrong. He's wrong.
So the Treasury Secretary is wrong. How do you know that? How do you know that?
Bill, because it's all you have to do is look at the books. We have sufficient revenue coming in. We can pay off all of those obligations first, and we must. We always have. We always will. Everyone needs to get their feathers down and not get ruffled because we can pay all these obligations. What we can't pay for are all these continued wasteful programs in Washington. You notice President Obama has no interest in cutting back on all these wasteful programs. He intends to fully keep this spending up. He has no intention of cutting back on the spending.
$10 trillion out
That's way out into the future. What he wants to do, first of all, Bill, is hike taxes on small businesses like cement tech. That's where I am today in Indiana. Well, of course, but that's what he wants to do. His plan is we first raise another $1 trillion in taxes on small business, then maybe way into the future we do some spending cuts. That's the wrong policy. We cut spending first. Last resort is you raise taxes.
I'm going to submit to you, Congressman, that you and me and Geithner and all that, we can't prove what we're saying in the sense of default. But your own party members, like Boehner,
if you look at the government's numbers.
Boehner is willing. Your own leader in the House is willing to extend that debt ceiling. He is willing to do it, Congresswoman. Your own leadership will do it. McConnell will do it in the Senate, and Boehner will do it in the House. You are the renegade here. Those guys are saying we have to raise the debt limit. You know that.
Well, Bill, me and 2/3 of the American people, if not more, because the American people have said quite clearly they don't want.
If you are right, why isn't Boehner saying exactly what you're saying? Why not?
What I can tell you is what I'm hearing all over Iowa, New Hampshire, South Carolina, Florida, Texas, wherever I go across the country. People are saying to me, Michele, these politicians don't get it. We can't keep raising the debt ceiling. And that's why I'm adamant about it, because that's what reasonable, fair-minded Americans are saying, Bill. They're saying the politicians have to stop the spending, and they don't for a minute appreciate it when President Obama is talking about the NFL lockout and telling small businesses to eat their peas and suck it in and have more tax increases. This company that I'm at today, Bill, they've lost 50% of their employees, and their margin is squeezed down to almost nothing on profit. Government hasn't gone on a diet. It's private business that's gone on a diet. It's time to have tough love. It would be just the opposite. It's the federal government that needs to go on a diet.
Tough love is okay if all of the country doesn't get hurt. Look, you know as well as I do, when President Bush came out 3 years ago, you know as well as I do that 3 years ago when President Bush came out, and I thought he was going to throw up, and he told you and me and every other American that this economy was going down the drain because the financial institutions were going to go bankrupt unless the federal government poured all of that money in, which the federal government did, and the financial industry didn't go under. So we got hurt, but we didn't get hurt in a catastrophic way. It's almost like that now. And I'm just saying to you, if it's presented to you as a congresswoman, that the Democrats and the president are going to cut an enormous amount out of their spending, that would have to be the deal. They're going to cut an enormous amount out in return for raising the debt ceiling one more time. I think you got to go with that. I'll give you the last word.
They'd have to cut an enormous amount, including they would have to defund Obamacare, because that's the largest entitlement in the history of the country.
Yeah, that's not on the table.
And that's why I can't go for it. I can't go for it because never will we be able to balance our books ever in the future. We can't do that to American business.
Remember one thing. If you win the presidency, if you're the next president, not going to be any more Obamacare. You're going to repeal it.
You bet I will.
Yeah. So
you can take that check to the bank and you can cash it.
In your calculation now, if you win or another Republican wins, Obamacare's done. And the Supreme Court may do it even further.
Bill, I am committed to the full-scale repeal of Obamacare. We need a president that has a titanium spine, which is what I have. And I'm encouraging your viewers, go to MicheleBachmann.com. A titanium spine. You encourage your viewers to go to MicheleBachmann.com. They'll hear more about Michele Bachmann's titanium spine.
All right, Congressman, always a pleasure. Thank you. Next on the rundown, as Juan Williams.